I awoke this morning from a powerful dream where I was in the grocery store. I was buying basic items that I needed that are associated with every household, which is bread, eggs, milk, and butter. Those are four basic items that we all purchase on a regular basis, and most households have these four items. So the dream took an interesting turn as I was checking out the tailor. Ooh, teller the tailor the teller. Ooh, I like this. I like this wordplay. So the teller charged me for those items, but he assigned an extra charge for the items. And this extra charge was assigned, and I didn't have an item that correlated to that extra charge. And so I noticed it right away. I had to point it out to him and let him know, like, hey, you overcharged me here. Um, I only have these four items. And in my dream, he did this purposefully, intentionally. He wanted to overcharge me for an item that I did not buy. And I recognized it in the moment. He thought I wasn't paying attention, but I was definitely paying attention. And pay attention, guys. This gets deeper. All right. So, after conversation with him, I realized this man needs a visual analysis. He needs a demonstration here because clearly the communication is not reaching him. And he doesn't know that I know exactly what he's doing. So I went through the store. I found the items in the store again, separate from the items I already purchased. I went to go locate these bread, butter, milk, and egg items again in the store, brought them back to him, and asked him to ring them up again. I wanted to physically demonstrate to him and show him, hey, like these are the four items that I purchased. Ring it up again. And when he rang it up again, the charge was different. And so this was a big lesson for me because I am acknowledging this dream in a way of communication on several layers, and I want to share that with you today. So this dream is a lesson on boundaries because this man, he clearly was trying to overstep and violate my boundaries. Okay. I was buying basic items that I needed for my household, that I was responsible for providing for my household. And he had some needs and desires that were not being met. And he saw that I was able to satisfy the needs and desires of my household through buying these basic items for nourishment. And he decided to assign an extra charge because he wanted to fulfill a need of his that was not being met. So he was trying to assign responsibility to me for something he wanted that was not being satisfied, right? And so this is a big lesson in what we call Gevurah, which is boundaries, justice. But there's also an element of compassion in Gevurah because this compassion element is a communication of saying, like, hey, this is not mine to carry. This doesn't belong to me. And so having an accounting, it's not just a physical accounting, it's a spiritual accounting. Because what happens in the physical is a result of what took place prior in the spiritual. We also have the element here of what we call in the Tree of Life Malchut, which is a representation of this earthly realm. The physical things like the bread, the eggs, the milk, and the butter represent that Malchut, right? So while I'm checking out with these items, I'm looking at what is here? What do I really need? And I was buying items that I only needed because those were the items that I was purchasing. I didn't purchase anything else. I only purchased items that I needed. So this is yet another example of how I am personally being taught about boundaries, as this is an area that I had to do deep inner work on in my life. And I'm sharing these lessons with you as they continue to populate and come up, not just in my dream state, but also in my waking life. And this is a lesson for all of us to be able to identify and recognize what we are responsible for, what we are not responsible for, and having a clear boundary so our responsibilities are not becoming someone else's responsibilities. So this is truly an operation of the heart, because it takes insight, it takes time, it takes reflection to be able to understand the inner complexities of these dynamics that exist. And so I want to leave you with this message today. May you identify what belongs to you and what doesn't. And as the fire alarm goes off, you better sound that alarm and draw that boundary on the things that you are not responsible for.